Hello, how are you guys doing? Just thought I'd stream a little early because I'm going to be looking at this anyway, and I'm probably going to talk about it some, so let's just get that all out of the way now, rather than having it continue into every other thing that I do today. So the way they're sending out stuff for the new edition of Warhammer is they showed off the core rules. They talked a little bit about each faction, and now they're actually leaking the data sheets. So you can actually find these on Warhammer community.com. In the downloads, you just go to whichever one you want to look at, or you can just go to the Warhammer community page if you're watching live, and then you can see this stuff yourself. So this is all stuff that GW has put out themselves, so I don't have to worry about anyone yelling at me for doing so. We've got, first off, this quick start guide, and I'm going to take a little bit of a look at it. I haven't looked at a lot of the stuff just because I don't know, like hasn't really interested me. It's all Space Marines and Tyranids and all that jazz, and that's great for them, but Plot Night, thank you for the 3 months of support. So I have a general idea of what all these words mean, but they've consolidated stuff into a universal common words. Stuff like Deep Strike is now just like a phrase. Deadly Demise is just how explosions used to work. Heavy is now +1 to hit if you remain stationary rather than -1 to hit if you move. Small change, but interesting. It means that if they kept the you can't stack multiple pluses thing, then there's not a lot that can be done there. Twin linked, each time an attack is made with this, you can re-roll the wound roll. Okay, got it. See, I wasn't around for when twin linked was a thing. Rapid fire, you get extra hits. This is basically changing how rapid fire works to be more like DACA. To talk about the orcs. The orcs won't be out until the 15th, so 2 days from now. Let's look at the core stratagems. Grenade is now just a stratagem. Okay. I'm a little bit behind on some of this stuff. 6d6 on a 4-up, so that's gonna be like 3.5 mortal wounds or 3 mortal wounds. Okay. Command reroll. See, what is this limit? In any phase just after you've made a hit, wound, damage, save, advanced charge, desperate escape test, hazardous test, or after you've just rolled the number of dice to determine the number of attacks made for a weapon. I'm gonna go ahead and kick the cat out. 1 sec. Okay, so you can reroll. Cool. Counteroffensive. Your unit fights next, sure. Epic challenge, 1 character model in your unit can heroically intervene. No, you can target them. A character can target another character with precision. Insane bravery. Okay. Tank shock is the one that allows you to just like ram people. That's cool. I'm glad to see that. Fire Overwatch. If they move or charge, you can shoot at them. That's cool for armies that have guns. I play CSM and orcs, so we don't do that here. I'm probably never going to use that. Go to ground. Similarly, I feel like this is maybe not worth. A 6-up invuln is going to be kind of silly. And the benefits of cover, like, yeah, okay. And then here's heroic intervention. 1 unit in your army that is within 6 inches of an enemy unit and would be eligible to declare a charge against that. Okay, so you countercharge is how heroic intervention works now. So you can actually fail after spending 2 CP on it. Tank shock is going to be funny on knights. I would imagine for 1 CP you use it a lot. What's the so until the end of the phase after your unit ends a charge move, select 1 enemy unit within engagement range of it, then select 1 melee weapon your unit is equipped with. Roll a number of d6 equal to that weapon's strength characteristic. So let's say it's 10. If that strength characteristic is greater than your enemy's toughness, so let's say 4, roll 2 additional d6. So you'd roll 12 dice if you have leader or strength 10 and their toughness is 4 because it's more. And then every 5 up, you get a mortal wound through. For 1 CP, if you have strength 10 and your opponent is less strength than you, which is pretty easy to pull off with a vehicle, honestly. Then it's on a 5 up. So even with something as low as, let's say, 5, that's 3 dice, so you get about 1 mortal wound. Double that, you make it 10, you're gonna get 6 mortal wounds plus another 2. Or 6 dice plus another 2, so that's 8 divided by 6 is like 1 and change? I'm gonna ram a lot of shit with Tank Shock. I actually like that stratagem a lot. The Knights are probably gonna be good because they have high strength, apparently. Alright, so let's look at the CM stuff, or CSM stuff. Where did my page for that? Okay. Let me go and pull that up again. I think that got closed when I was closing out a bunch of stuff. Luckily, it's like right on the front page of the thing. All right, so CSM abilities, Dark Pacts. If your army faction is Heretic Astartes, each time that unit would make... I've already seen this, and I'm hoping that I read it wrong. Select it to have one of the things. Lethal hits or sustained hits. So what is lethal hits again? That's mortal wounds, right? No, auto wounds. Okay. Or sustained hits, you get extra hits. Okay. And then you make a leadership test, which, if I recall correctly, is 2d6, and you have to beat your leadership. That's in the command phase now. I don't know why I was looking all the way down there. Command phase. Right. So roll 2d6. If the result is lower than your leadership. Okay. So our army-wide ability is a sometimes thing. Okay. I'm a lot more hype about orcs because this ability is bad. Like, it's fluffy. You spend your unit's health in order to make them better. They make a dark pact with an evil god. Like, it probably won't work out in their favor. The buffs seem, man, unless if I'm like completely off, man, I don't see it. Like lethal hits, auto wounds. I guess into some targets, just you could do that. It's not a stratagem, but it feels like one. I guess the strat then would be is just bring all of the shots. So you could just like bring like Reaper autocannons or whatever equivalent and then just shoot lots of bullets and then you have lethal hits and it goes through and that's cool. Or you could use sustain hits on big wads of Tyranids or whatever. And then you just pass your leadership check because you're a baller and you don't fail dice rolls. Okay. Detachment rule. You can use the Slaves of Darkness detachment rule. Okay, when mustering your army, each time you select a Heretic Astartes unit to include in your army that is not an epic hero, that doesn't already have one of these keywords, you can select one. Each time a unit it gains all the things until the end of the phase. Wait. Oh, okay, so this is in addition to Dark Pacts. You pick a specific god that you want. Okay, so Khorne. In the fight phase, the unit's weapons gain lethal hits. In this phase, if this unit's weapons gained lethal hits, so you have to pick the lethal hits. Each time you make a unmodified hit roll of a 5+, that scores a critical hit, and with lethal hits, critical hits auto wound. So on 5 up, you auto wound. Okay. Tzeentch, Warp Fire. In the shooting phase, if you chose lethal hits, This ability results for Dark Pact. Each time a model in this unit makes an unmodified hit roll of a 5+. Okay, so same thing, but shooting. Okay. And you can choose this on the fly, it looks like. And it doesn't seem like that there's any restriction to going Tzeentch one turn and Khorne the next. So that's neat. You don't have to worry about, like, your opponent having to memorize all your marks. That's cool. Nurgle. Spread the sickness. In the shooting phase, if you chose sustained hits. I wonder what the math is on that. Sustained hits versus lethal hits. It just seems like lethal hits is better. Okay, well, what does it do? On a 5-up, it scores a critical hit. Okay. And then Slash is shooting, but sustained hits. Okay. You must select one for it to gain. So, no, you can't do Tzeentch, then Khorne the next. Okay. Glory to Chaos. Each time this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. I'm tempted to say that that's just better than the sustained hits, but I haven't done the math, so I don't know. You cannot select Khorne for a Psyker. Duh. A character whose leader ability can only be attached to a bodyguard unit if both of those share the same keyword from the list above. Right, okay. Yeah, someone's going to do the math and find out when sustained hits is better than lethal hits. Okay, let's say you have like 4 shots and you hit on 3s and you wound on 5s. Okay, so there's 1. So this goes away. We'll just ignore this one because it already wounded. So that's 1 wound. Do it again. 4 shots. Hitting on 3s. Okay, so everything wounds, or everything hits. And then this one's still a wound and these fail, unless if you chose Tzeentch for... So you get like 1 through if you're wounding on a 5-up. And then if you go with sustained hits on 6s. Okay, so you get 1 extra dice. Okay, so that fails. Let's keep going with it. And then there's 1 wound. Okay, try it again. 1 critical hit. We roll an extra dice, and it's a failure as well. That reroll 1s looks real spicy. And then these 2... I mean, it just seems worse. It just seems worse, man. I don't... So I'm going to be cornering Tzeentch like half the time. Okay. Stratagems. Infernal Rites. When shooting phase, your opponent's shooting phase or 5 phase just after it's selected its targets. Worsen the AP by 1. For 2 CP? We don't start with CP anymore, right? Like, am I high? I remember reading that. Like, we get 1 command point per turn, right? Hey, wrong type of hero. How you doing? That seems so... Okay. I mean, essentially it makes a 3-up a 2-up, but still? Profane Zeal. 1 Heretic Stardies unit that has not been selected to shoot or fight this phase. Each time you make an attack, reroll 1s to hit and wound. If it's undivided, you can reroll the hit and reroll the wound roll for that attack. I mean, that makes that Chaos Undivided thing real sexy, actually. That's pretty good. 1 CP, full reroll for a unit. That's killer, man. That's actually pretty good. You combine that with the wounds thing, and you just like... you casino roll it, you know? You get those You roll it, you go for you just fish for 6s. I got 2 6s. We're going to re-roll those 2. Even though they were hits, whatever. And yeah, I mean, that just is good. Okay. Eternal Hate. Fight phase after a enemy unit has selected its targets. 1 Heretic Astartes unit from your army that was selected as a target of those attacks. Until the end of, or each phase, until the phase in, I should probably have some more coffee. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if that has not fought yet, roll 1d6, adding 1 if it's Khorne, on a 4-up fight on death. Okay, well that makes Khorne seem a lot better, and I think that Khorne and Tzeentch, I'm between like Khorne, Tzeentch, and Undivided as far as which gods I think I'll pledge my fealty through. Undivided seems very good though, but there's some units where just like you probably just want to get the swing off. You probably don't care too much about the other stuff. The marks being in here as well makes the, I mean, it's gonna be make or break if these stratagems are actually good. Skin shift. 1 Heretic Astartes unit from your army regains 3 lost wounds in addition if it is Tzeentch and is below starting strength. Bring a guy back. That's amazing. Okay, Slaanesh and Nurgle, what you got? Because it's got to be good. Like, bringing dudes back, especially because you're probably going to hurt yourself. Like, this is the apothecary-looking thing that I was really looking for when I heard that that was our ability. So this is okay, but you have to be Tzeentch locked, which is... Alright. So Slaanesh. Movement phase. It's eligible to shoot or charge in a turn that it fell back. In addition, if it's Slaanesh, it can shoot and declare a charge in which it advanced. I mean... What did Slaanesh do again? Because that's really good. Sustained hits. Okay. That actually makes it kind of okay. And then dark whatever. Your opponent's shooting phase just after they've selected targets. 1 Heretic Astartes unit from your army that was selected as target of attacks. It's Cloud of Flies. Yeah. And the Nurgle one's shooty, right? Yeah. The Slaanesh one really only came into its own after this stratagem, whereas the other ones seem solid prior to that. It's not bad, it's just, man, okay. Enhancements. And I noticed there's no, like, generic give a thing to a sergeant. I think they got away from that, so. Talisman of Burning Blood, welcome back, my dude. Heretic Astartes Khorne model, only add 1 to the attack and strength of the bearer's melee weapons. Each time the bearer unit makes a dark pact until the end of the phase, add D3 to the attacks and strength. Okay, so you have to be making dark pacts with your characters as well. That's very scary, but all right. Oh, wow. Eye of Tzeentch looks really good. Each time, Heretic Astartes Tzeentch model, only each time the bearer's unit makes a dark pact. Take a leadership test for the battle, or bearer. If it's passed, you gain 1 CP. Okay. I mean, the pacts thing is going to be very much tied to what their leadership is, on whether or not I even think this is valid as an army construction. But at least it feels like it'd be different than orcs, which is kind of my issue with them last edition. Orb of Unlife, no longer just the Purge can use this, as of like 9th edition, but still. At the end of the fight phase, roll 1d6 for every enemy unit within 6 inches of the bearer. Add 1 to the result if you made a Dark Pact. There's no limit to the number of times you can do this, yeah? That's pretty spicy. Intoxicating Elixir. Has a 5-up feel no pain each time the bearer shoots or fights. If the bearer made a Dark Pact this phase, after the bearer has resolved those attacks, select one enemy unit that was hit by one or more of your things, and they have to take a battle shock. God damn. That's actually pretty good. Like, all these are pretty solid. You know? Are the Chaos data cards out? They came out today, and that's what we're looking through now. I'm just looking through the CSM enhancements first. Liber Hereticus. Undivided model only. Each time the bearer makes a Dark Pact, gains lethal hits and sustained hits ability instead of just gaining one. That's really not worth giving up your enhancements for. I'll be honest. Like, that one's probably the stinker out of the bunch. It's not bad. It's just, in comparison to the other ones, and what's the limitation on, like, taking... I have to actually look at the core rules to get that, but... it... depending on how many you can have, like, I think I'd pick all the other 4 first. Alright. Abaddon. Leader, Deep Strikes. That means he can come in from Deep Strike. He's a leader, so he can be attached to units. He has Dark Pacts because that's his thing. He's undivided. He's every mark. 4-up Invuln. War Master. Select one of the abilities on the left. We've already seen this, right? Reroll the hit rolls. That unit has a 4-up Invuln. That's pretty spicy. And Lord of the Traitor Legions. Sanctions, you can reroll leadership or battle shock test for that unit. Okay, that's cool. That allows you to get that synergy off more often. War gear options, none. Harken World Claimer. Notably not Black Legion locked because we don't do that anymore. So welcome back, Jump Pack Captain. I will be kit bashing one because I will not be buying this guy. That's exciting. Let's see if he's actually worth doing kit bash for. So Talon, he has precision on, so he can snipe characters. He's even Chaos Undivided now, which is nice. You would have to put him in an undivided jump pack thing. While this model is leading a unit, each time the model unit ends a charge, select one enemy unit with an engagement range of this model's unit and roll 1d6 for each model in range. Every time you charge? While this model is leading a unit, each time a model ends a charge move, select one enemy unit that is engagement range of this model's unit. Roll 1d6 for each model in this model's unit. So let's say you have a squad of like 10 Raptors and Tim. So that's 11 guys in a unit. He charges. You get 11 attempts at a 4-up to do a mortal wound. That's actually good. And that's not a strat. That's just a thing he does. Toughness 4, 3-up save, 4-up invuln, 5 wounds, 6-up leadership. Relatively low, which means he can get it off fairly easily. Yeah, I mean, I think you could shred a unit with just that. Extra attacks, lance, and sustained hits, so he gets +1 to wound. Or he gets to reroll his wounds. What's lance again? Do you not have lance in your... Come on, G-dubs. Am I missing it? Okay, +1 to the ruined roll. It just doesn't have all the things. It's probably in the core book. I just assumed that their quick start guide would actually be helpful. Stupid me. Okay, so +1 to wound on a charge. Sustained hits. Does that say D3? What? It gains D3 extra hits when it gets a 6. And he's undivided, so he gets to reroll. He also can get precision, but you probably have to reroll them. The Profane Zeal is the reroll everything, and that's the one he's got. So you could very easily charge and then fish for 6s on that. It's 1 extra attack, though. Okay. Do we know his points? We don't know the points on anything yet. So if you want to play right now, I think people are playing with like the 9th edition points, which is so off because this guy is like way better than he used to be. I almost completely ignored him. And then Herald of the Apocalypse. When your enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model in the battle shock step of your opponent's command phase, if it's below starting strength, it must take a battle shock test. The ability cannot take... Okay. So you make them, like, if you kill 1 with your head taker and you miss everything, you can still make them fail a morale where they basically lose objective control. And the ability to fall back. I mean, I think Harkin's great. Unless if he's a lot of points, he's fucking solid. He can only be attached to raptors, though. I have 5 raptors that are needing to get finished painted. Huron, Chosen, and Legionaries are the things he can hook up to. He's got Torrent, which I believe is Flamer, right? Yeah, okay. So it's just Flamer ability. Ignores cover, Torrent. So it's kind of the exact same thing that it had. Tyrant of Badab. Well, this model is a leading unit. Add 1 to the objective controls of... That's fucking great. Red Corsairs. Both players have deployed their armies and can select up to 3 infantry units and redeploy. Oh my god, he's so good! What? Redeploy 3? His model is so heinous, but I'm absolutely going to kit bash the shit out of him. Corsairs were okay in 9th. There was a legitimate, like, case there. Hamandric Knowledge, Psychic. Once per battle, when an enemy unit ends a normal advanced fallback within 9 inches, and it's not engagement range, you can make a normal move of up to 2. Well, okay, cool. So they make a normal move, then you move to them. And then that allows you to do your heroic intervention super easy. So instead of having to roll a... I mean, if you can get yourself within range, it's a risky move, though. His weapons are okay out of 10. Yeah, if you back off, let's say you move, like you're in combat with Huron. You back out of combat, you take your attrition maybe, and then Huron goes, okay, well, now actually you're still within 9 because you can only move back 6, so I'm going to just move another d6 towards you to make my heroic intervention charge, like, autocomplete. Because on average, let's see, what would that be? So on average, you're going to get a 3. They'll move 6 away, you move 3 up. That means you've got to get... I mean, yeah, that just auto-completes charges for you. That's so good. Yeah, I think I'll be kit bashing him. Demon Prince, this is the wingless one. I have a winged one. So let's see. So Infernal Cannon, he finally has the gun he's modeled with. Good job, GW. It looks okay. It looks pretty much like what I would remember it from 8th edition. Okay, with wings. I'm just going to skip to the winged one. Is there a difference? I guess I should check. Dark Blessing. While Heretic Astartes infantry is within 6 inches of this model, each time a range attack is allocated to that model, a model in that unit, it has the benefits of cover. Okay. Each time this model shoots or fights, reroll 1 hit and 1 wound. Is the only difference 4 extra inches of movement, just like it was before? No, there's different abilities. The weapons look the same. And Corn is 2 strength. Yeah, okay, so the marks are going to be the same, and the marks actually matter a bit more based on what we were just looking at with the thing. Okay. I'm starting to see how this is supposed to go together. Okay, so you gotta walk there. He explodes and does D3 damage when he dies. Okay. 2 extra inches of movement, 1 extra toughness. You're already toughness 10. Wow, what a world. 3 extra shots with your gun if you're Zinch. 2 extra strength with your weapon. And it's Hellforged weapon rather than the sword, axe, or claws, which is great because mine is modeled with claws, which was not great last edition. But COVID happened last edition, so I didn't go outside much. So, you know, it's fine. What's the winged one do? And he's not a leader unit. Oh, that's awkward. Huh. There's no lookout, sir, anymore either. Right? That's why lone operative exists. "31 minutes. Yeah, I know. 31 minutes of me enjoying my life. Toughness 1 less when he's flying. Infernal. Okay, so the weapons are the same. He deep strikes. Demonic destruction each time it ends a charge move. Select 1 enemy unit within engagement range and roll 1d6 for its remaining. Each of this model's remaining wounds. So you got 10 wounds. You go into combat. You charge. You do maybe 5 mortal wounds on the charge. That's great. Okay. I play orcs and CSM, and I dabble in demons. You like the Zinch demons. Okay, I haven't gotten to the Zinch demons yet, so, like, I'm excited to hear that you're happy about them. Flying horror. Each time this model ends a normal or advanced move, select 1 enemy unit it moved over during that thing, and you battle shock it. I mean, that's neat. Do I like that better than... cover and rerolls? I feel like the winged one is a little bit more of a doing his own thing kind of guy. The fact that he doesn't hook into units is kind of weird, because that means he's just going to get shot if he can get shot. But fair enough. Bile, did they make you good? Add 1 to the... If the unit is attached to the start of battle, add 1 to the strength characteristic to melee. Okay. Add 1 to the toughness. Okay, that's actually pretty okay. Surgeon Acolyte, once per turn, when a attack is allocated to a model in this unit, you can change it to 0. Okay. Chirurgeon, I think that's how you pronounce that word. First time Bile is destroyed, D6, 2 up, he stands back up. That's, yeah, it's better than he was. Anti-infantry 2 up pistol, so he's a poison pistol. Just choose not to die. Cypher, what do you do? Agents of Discord. Once per battle, after your opponent uses a stratagem, costs 1 more for the rest of the battle. I think that's what he did before, too. Assault pistol. Oh, that's so weird, because they can do that now, because those are keywords. So he can advance and shoot his pistol. That's cool. That's fluffy. Guns blazing. Each time an enemy unit is selected to shoot, if 1 or more of those attacks target a friendly heretic Astartes within 3 inches of this model, after that unit, it's not a leader. So how does he... Wait, how do you fucking survive being shot at? Oh, yeah, you can choose the CP reroll for that. Ew. There's no lone operative. Is there Epic Hero on, yeah, there's okay. So you could have one jump pack guy. You just have to screen him? Yeah, but I mean, guns still work. I assume you just have to run. 6-inch move on someone who can't be lookout, sir. He just seems like he's gonna die. This model can shoot as if it were your shooting phase, but when doing so, must only target that enemy unit and only if it's eligible. Am I just totally fucking up how characters work in this edition? Where's the shooting phase? There it is. All right. No. Yeah, I think you just hold him back until you get Agents of Discord off. I really don't know about him and the Demon Prince just because of that. But the Demon Prince at least can fly and get hidden behind some shit. I'm still tempted not to bring him just because of that. Guns blazing each time an enemy unit is selected. Okay, so yeah. Master Possession, what do you do now? Because I have one. Damikin. When it's leading unit, add 1 to the adventure charge rolls, and they get a 6-up Feel No Pain. Cry more, Death Guard. That already looks great, depending on what he can hook into. Possessed, okay. All of the things that you'd want to be hooked up to. Sacrificial Dagger, once per phase. The model may, when it's selected to shoot or fight, you can use this. The model's unit suffers 1 mortal wound, and until the end of the phase, each time this model makes a psychic attack, add 1 to the hit and 1 to the wound. All right, so those psychic attacks, what do you got? You're hitting on 3s, so that changes it to 2s. You can do either focused or not. If you use focused, it becomes, so it's a plasma gun. It is anti-psyker, which is neat. Okay, yeah. I'm actually jiving with him. Lone operative cannot be chosen. Yeah, but... Oh, wait, no. Oh, okay. Cypher has lone operative. Okay, that's actually usable then. Okay, okay. Never mind then. So you can choose either to use your pistol or ignore the fact that it exists for the entire edition and just use the good guns you have. Because they're also pistols. Why did you even write that, GW? In what world do I use a pistol over rights of possession? I guess if someone has some sort of benefit against psychic attacks? It's very GW. Chaos Lord. I have one. What does it do? It doesn't have a hammer, I'll tell you that much. All right, so he's got a bullet pistol or plasma pistol. Lord of Chaos, once per battle round, select 1 unit from your army that can be selected. Once per battle, 1 unit from your army with this ability can be targeted with a stratagem for 0 CP, even if another unit from... Once per battle round? Hold up, what was that 2 CP strat that I was like, I'll never fucking use that? Because it might be usable now. I think that was a base one. Okay, minus 1 AP, sure. It's a stratagem for free if you've already used it. Even if it's already been used. You don't have to have used it. Once per battle round. So, yeah, so you can use the same strat twice, but one time it's free. That's really good. His weapons are... I don't really know how tough vehicles are nowadays, so 8 doesn't seem like a lot. You can just command reroll. I think that you could use better things for that, but yeah, you could. You could command reroll. Yeah, I guess, yeah, command reroll is pretty good. Chance for glory. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this model can use this ability. If it does, improve the strength, attack, and armor penetration and damage of melee weapons by 1. So instead of, it'll be strength 9, AP 3, 3 damage on the hammer or the power fist. The power fist doesn't have a minus to hit. The hammer does. The hammer has devastating wounds, which mortal wounds in addition. So I think you probably go with the Daemon Hammer just because I think that's math-wise better. Is that just like any time? No, just critical wounds. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start making, hold on. Note. Okay. Master of Possession. Hearken. What's the dude's name? Huron. Just gonna write down good guys. Cypher? I don't know about Cypher. The 1 CP, you're taking him almost exclusively for this. The Agents of Discord thing. He's got OC1, so he could just hang out on your back objective and just chill. But I don't know if that's a plan you can really make anymore. You can hook on to Chosen and Legionary, so that's pretty much going to be what you hook into almost every time. His plasma pistol can be replaced with one of the following. Wait, can you have 2 demon hammers? There's no point in that. Chaos Lord. Okay, I have one of these. I've got it so that way his arms pop off so he can be either a Chaos Lord or a sorcerer. Let's see. Lord of Chaos. Cool. Have the damage. What does the other guy have? Okay, so instead of having more damage, you can have more resilience. I kind of like the Terminator one more. A pair of accursed weapons is twin linked, so you get to reroll wounds. So if you have lightning claws, power fist, exalted weapon, combi bolter, combi weapon. That's right, they got rid of combi bolters or combi meltas and stuff. Okay. Can be attached to only a Terminator squad. That's okay, though. Sorcerer looks worse than the Master of Possession. What does he have? Prescience. When it's leading a unit, they're -1 to hit. Okay. That's cool. Is all this, like, actually kind of fucking good? Like, I'm seeing very few stinkers. Like, you can argue with me about Cypher, but, like, he seems okay. But, like, I don't see anything super bad yet. Something that's like, why on earth would you play that? Like, the Demon Prince on foot seems like a legitimate choice, which I don't know as if I've ever seen that. And then Gift of Chaos. Each time this model is selected to shoot or fight, after resolving that, make him take a leadership test. How much can we fuck with their leadership? Like, that's a real thing in this edition. Like, that's pretty cool. Sorcerer and Terminator armor. Okay, instead you have Warp Time. Warp Time gives you reroll advance and charge rolls. Okay. So, and he can hook up with Terminators, so you drop some Terminators in from Deep Strike and you have him come in with. If you have a Chaos Familiar, once per battle, when the attack is allocated, you can change the damage characteristic to 0. Death Hex, at start of your shooting phase, select one Psyker with this ability can use it. If it does, select one enemy unit within 12 invisible to the Psyker and roll 1d6. On a 1, you take d3. On a 2, you get an extra AP. In all phases. I think that's great. It's with an E or no? It's with an E. I think I like the Termi Armor one better. -1 to hit or reroll charges and advances. I think for a deep striking unit, which I think is what I'd use my Terminators as, rerolling for free sounds great. That's essentially a free CP because you're gonna want to use that if it comes up. And then you get the ability to just get an extra AP on a unit that they want to kill. How is he in combat? Not the greatest. He's a nerd. Okay. That's fine. I'm actually very fine with that. Lucius. Duelist Pride. It has fights first. Cool. Scam call. Armor of Shrieking Souls. If each time this model is destroyed by an attack by an enemy unit, it must take a leadership test. If the test is passed, that enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. If it's failed, so you take D3 or D6 for killing him. And if mortal wounds inflicted in this way destroy that enemy unit, he comes back. I mean, that's never gonna happen, but it's very funny if it does. Like, that won't come up, but it's very funny if it does. I think I'm gonna ignore Lucius the Eternal. Lord Discordant, I just got done kit bashing one. Tell me he doesn't suck ass. Corrupt Machine Spirits. What? Okay, who does he attach to? No one. Okay, not off to a great start, but he's fast. Okay, Corrupt Machine Spirits. Start your opponent's turn, select one, or shooting phase, select one enemy vehicle within 12 invisible to one or more. Has to take a leadership. If it passed, if it's passed, each time a model makes an attack, subtract 1. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I was like, that sounds bad, but it's not as bad as the other option. Subtract 1 from the hit roll. If it's failed, they can't shoot at all. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, am I reading this backwards? But no, it just got better. Okay. Veil Flamer versus the autocannon. I mean, especially with the fact that he can't straight up hide from being murderized, I think I'm going to still take the Veil Flamer over the autocannon. Like, the damage is great, but, like, he's going to put himself out there. Use Corrupt Machine Spirits to guard this guy. Spirit Thief. At the start of your shooting phase, select one enemy vehicle within 12 till the end of that phase. Each time a friendly Heretic Astartes makes an attack against that unit, reroll a wound roll of 1. I mean, he seems good. I'm pretty happy. Attacks look considerably less confusing when written out this way. They took his back thing, the Mechadendrites. And they weren't very good, so it's fine, but still, okay. And so there's no, like, warlord traits, it's just the relics? Is that what the deal is? Isn't the technovirus injector yeah, it's a different tentacle. He has several tentacles. Yeah, so one's on his back, and then the thing itself has tentacles in its mouth. So you can't Talisman of Burning Blood your Sorcerer and Terminator armor. You probably don't give the relic to him. You probably put the intoxicating elixir on the okay. You probably unmark because you won't be able to get the corn thing going. You could go Slanesh. The Disco Lord, you probably want to go Slanesh. With Elixir. That sounds really spicy. 5-up, feel no pain. So after you get the ability to shoot him, because he's telling your vehicles, no, 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 no. He's got a 5-up, feel no pain, and if he shoots you after making a Dark Pact, you have to take a Battle Shock. That seems solid. And with an auto, and it's... if it was hit, so you still want to use the Flamer because it's hit. I don't hate the Undivided stuff. I don't like this relic, but the Undivided itself is pretty solid. I think you're probably going to use it a lot more often than not. But especially on like general purpose units. Warpsmith. I don't have one of these. Do I need one? While you're near a lone operative or a vehicle, it gets lone operative. It can be attached to units, but it doesn't need to because it can just be hanging out next to a vehicle. So you can kind of hook into a vehicle unit. Masters of Mechanisms at the in your command phase, select the vehicle within 3, heal it for D3, and get +1 to hit. Rage Spirits. You can, okay. Yeah, I think for a little bit of a gun line, Warpsmith seems fine. I'm not going to go out and get one, but it's fine. Exalting Champion, or Exalted Champion. It's a leading unit. Each time it makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. How does Battle Shock work on vehicles? So if you're Battle Shocked, you lose all objective control. And if you try and fall back, you have to do a desperate escape test. So you could just die from falling back, if I recall correctly, on how desperate escape works. So, I mean, like, it's not bad at all. I just don't own one, and I don't think it's good enough to justify me spending, like, the money on it. Even to Kit Bash, I don't know about that guy. He's not bad. +1 to hit is nice, though. Each time this model's unit takes a Dark Pact at the end of the phase, add D3 strength. Until end of the phase, add D3. I was going to say. Add D3 to the strength characteristics of weapons equipped by this model. So you go to like strength 6 or 7 on your exalted weapon. That's fine. What did the Chaos Lord do again? The regular one. The CP thing. And once per battle, you can improve your damage and stuff. So I feel like the Lord is going to be more choppy, and the Exalted Champion is more of a buff unit. There's definitely a place in this world to have both. It also does improve shooting, so he could be attached to some Havocs, maybe? No. Oh, you can attach this model to one of the units above, even if one other character model has already been attached to it. Oh. Oh. Okay. So you can get +1 to hit, a 6-up Feel No Pain, and +2 to hit. A Master of Possession and an Aspiring Champion can give you +2 to hit for the cost of trying to use a Dark Pact, which gives you the ability to reroll 1s. So hitting on 2s, rerolling everything, 6-up Feel No Pain, leadership 6 probably. Which, on average, you do. It's going to be a real feels bad when you fuck up those Dark Pacts, but you just gonna have to go balls deep with them, I think. Dark Apostle. One of my favorite units. Please don't suck ass. While leading a unit and contains a Dark Apostle model, add 1 to the melee wound. Okay. So you get +1 to hit, +1 to wound. I don't know if you get both. So maybe you Dark Apostle and Aspiring Champion. Pick someone and they're just not battle shocked anymore. That's great. Malign Sacrifice at the start of the fight phase. If it contains 1 or more Dark Disciple models, you select one of those models and 1 enemy unit within engagement range of this unit. Then roll 1d6. On a 2 to 5, they take 1 mortal wound. On a 6, they take d3. And then you kill off one of your little buddies. I don't hate him. I just don't know about that. Dark Commune. You're dog shit before. Tell me that you're actually decent. Okay, so they don't have the weird thing where all the models have special separate rules anymore. They just have it's either the demigod or it's the other models. Okay. Other models. Good. When he's leading a unit, all right. A 5-up invuln, sure. So as long as you have the leader guy, you're fine. Once per battle in the command phase, if it contains a demigod, you can use this ability until the end of turn. You can declare a charge, their turn which advanced, and each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit and then 1 to the wound. Oh my god, he's actually good? You can reroll your Dark Pacts for free. Okay. Can you do a reroll on a leadership check? Hit, wound, damage, save, advanced charge, desperate escape, hazard test, or you just had... No, you can't. Okay, so this is the only way that I've seen so far that you can actually reroll. Each Mind Whip Witch is equipped with a Warp Curse close combat weapon. I might actually have to get a Dark Commune. Oops, all cultists might be back on the menu. Yeah, you're right. There's no mere mortals. There's no the other thing. You can advance and what can you be attached to? Only cultists. I mean, yeah. Okay, put a pin in that one. Maybe. I've got a box of Legionnaires that I have not opened yet because I got given them for my birthday in February. It's been a few months. Been working on other projects, man. Balefire Tome is just a heavy bolter, basically. And a bad one at that. Veterans of the Long War, each time this unit targets an enemy unit with a melee attack, reroll wound roll of 1. It's add 1. Okay. So it's different. There's a point to having the Dark Apostle. Is the Renegade kill team in here? That's a good question. Oh. Oh, Chaos Icon's just like a thing. Oh. Oh, so that makes the Dark Commune a lot less good. So the main thing you're going for is the 5-up invuln, the stats here, which are fine. And once per battle in the command phase, you can advance and charge. And get +1 to hit, +1 to wound. Okay. I really like the Hates Imperium, or getting rid of the Hates Imperium, Hates Chaos rules. You'd always have that stratagem like Vengeance for Monarchia, because I'm a Word Bearers player. It's just like, cool, if I ever see an Ultramarines player, then I'll shit on him. And it'll probably be a child, because no one bothers to play Ultramarines, so the only person who's doing it is for fluffy reasons. So I'll get to shit on some random child. That'll be fun. Like, I didn't like those abilities. Wow, Cultist, what the fuck? Are you good? For the Dark Gods, at the end of your command phase, if this was in range of an objective marker you control, that stays under your control even if you have no models in range of it. You can just, like, touch them and run away. +1 to wound on the Cultist stat line is solid. It's +1 to wound, or is it reroll wound? +1 to wound. Okay, so let's look at these Cultists in more detail in comparison. So mine are all set up with, like, you know, I have the original box, not this newer box. So it's kind of a 50-50 mix, but I just tell people, like, +1 to wound is, I mean, like, that allows you to wound Legionnaires or vehicles a lot easier. 2 wounds still? The stat block looks essentially the same as they used to. Objective control only 1 on Cultists, but I mean, I think if you, like, clear objectives with the Legionnaires and have maybe 2 squads of Cultists, I think that Oops All Cultists could actually be a build. Bird Dog, thank you for the 23 months of support. That's very cool of you. Thank you so much. So I'm definitely running Cultists still. The Chaos Icon, depending on how much it costs, is going to be bought every single time. Because you want that ability to go off, because your entire army is based around that ability. And if you roll that dice, and you somehow roll under 6 on 2 dice, which is pretty likely, what are the odds of that? %41 chance that you roll exactly a 6? Roll a... Okay, probability of rolling a certain number or less. So there's a 41% chance that you fail your ability. No, it would be 5 or less. So there's a 27. So there's like 1 out of every 3 you're going to fuck up. And with the reroll, that makes it a little bit more consistent. Okay. What are the options for these guys? Melt-A-Gun, Havoc, Chain Cannon. I mean, that's pretty good. Strength 9, AP 1, though. But was it the Lord Discordant gives you -1 AP on something? You just pick something and you say, fuck that thing? And, like, he doesn't have to see the unit that's... He has to see the unit they're shooting at, but not hit the unit that's shooting. Failing is just self-damage. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you'd still rather not, but it's nice to get around it. How bad are you now? Okay, so he's got the Accursed Chord thing. They've got a 6-0 Feel No Pain, and they got Dark Pacts. Leadership is low, so you're probably going to fuck up that roll a bunch, so that 6-up Feel No Pain will feel nice. So they took away the sub-factions in this edition. This is just Chaos Space Marines in general. But, sort of, yes. Machete. This doesn't look awful. You're going to be taking it mostly for the big dudes, the mutants. Or no, it's the Torments that are the big ones. Yeah, you're going to be taking it for the Torments, just as before. Leadership of a 7-up means that you've got like a 40-something% chance of failing, like we just figured out. Wait. Can you have 6 Torments, 5 Mutants? And then just kill the Mutants? There's no, like, you have to have X number of Torments per mutant or anything like that. That's interesting. With the free model regen, that could be great. All right, Terminators. This are Sorcerer and Terminator armor strat. You run in, you charge, you attack everything. Spoilers. Each time a unit makes a Dark Pact until the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. What did the Sorcerer Terminator do? Actually, both of the Terminator. Okay. Extra AP. Reroll charges. Or... the stratagem is free. I mean, I guess you could use that for the reroll. Either seems kind of legitimate. Less rerolls. Yeah, no, that... yeah, GW lies sometimes. Like how Contemptors are out of the game, right? I mean, that seems really solid. I could get behind that. Chain Fist is anti-vehicle 3+. I think that means on a 3+, you just auto wound against vehicles. It's a critical wound. What's a critical wound? I mean, it's a 6 on a wound roll. Well, what does that achieve? Just it auto wounds? So you auto wound, you'll wound a vehicle on anything better than a 3. And it can also trigger abilities like Devastating Wounds. Just becomes a 6. So if you roll a 3, it becomes a 6. So you're gonna wound knights on 3s with a Chain Fist. Okay, I get it. Otherwise seems identical to the Power Fist, except for the Power Fist doesn't have as much of a minus to hit. Interesting. Yeah, the Power Fist doesn't have a minus to hit at all. Huh. Yeah, I think they're nice. I need to finish painting up some dudes, but yeah. Master of Executions used to be the best thing ever. Devastating wounds and precision, so you can still target characters with him. He's a leader. While he's leading unit, each time he makes a melee attack that targets a unit that's below starting strength, you can reroll the hit, and if it's below half strength, you can reroll the wound as well. Each time a model in that unit. Oh my god. That's good too. I mean, how many characters are people going to be bringing? Because there's so much spice here, man. Like, I can't handle how spicy this Master of Executions is. Like, reroll hits and wounds. Like, everything's going to be rerolling. What the fuck, G-dubs? You said that we weren't doing rerolls anymore, and now I'm just rerolling everything ever. Mo. Aspiring champion. That's not a thing that I thought I'd put on this list. And you can attach it to a unit that already has a whatever. Wait, you can attach this to, even if it has one other character model that's been attached to it. Is there, okay, all right. Warhammer nerds, am I being a rules lawyer, or is there a reason that I can't have a Chaos Lord, a Master of Executions, and Aspiring Champion all leading one unit of Legionnaires? I mean, maybe not that specific combo, but like the Aspiring Champion and the Master of Executions, and then some other character. Because both the Aspiring Champion and this guy have this ability. Does say one other. Okay. Yeah, that's me being a rules lawyer then. Hideous Mutations, less AP than before, still strength 5, which is worse than before. 4 attacks instead of 5. Okay. No sergeant equivalent in the unit. All right. Each time you make a Dark Pact, the guys have devastating wounds, and you can put an icon on them, and they have a 5-up invuln. I mean, kind of just the simplest goddamn unit that's ever been put together, but yeah, devastating wounds is mortal wounds. How do we get 6s? How do we get 6s more often with Possessed? Master of Executions. This is reroll wounds. Add 1 to the wound roll. I don't think that, no, it has to be exactly a 6. So this guy won't help. Master of Possession. What did you do again? I remember liking you. I think it was a 6-up Feel No Pain and some other garbage. Okay, and then he can make himself shoot better. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to use that much. And +1 to advance a charge. Anti-X could be yeah, okay. I don't know what grokkable means. We can't attach this to that. There's not a lot of buffs that we can give a possessed unit. What about the packs? Is there one that allows me to get more consistent? There is, right? Blood Fury. A critical hit, right? No, I mean, lethal hits. A critical wound automatically wounds the target. Okay. This might be a time for Slanesh. Sort of science fiction thing where aliens would say something that's grokked or something, and it mental level deeper of understanding than human words could portray. These are so much more readable than before. Okay, yeah, no, I agree. Like, I'm already able to, like, kind of start making decisions on my army and stuff. Devastating wounds is every time you make a critical hit. A critical wound. There's no way of getting critical wounds. It automatically wounds the target. Okay, so, but it doesn't wound it on like a 6, it just wounds it. So you won't gain the benefit. So actually, Blood Fury would be detrimental. You'd probably want to have Slanesh marked or Undivided marked, Master Possession and Possessed, to get just fishing for as many 6s to wound as possible. Is there a way to get rerolling wounds? There is with Profane Zeal, right? Okay, so you got 40 attacks on your possessed. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are rows of 7 for some fucking reason? Hey, not a loaf of bread. We'll switch over to art here in a minute. I just need to get done reading all this. 14, 28. Fuck this. Am I surviving the weather? It's 88 degrees outside right now. I haven't played tabletop since April. I haven't played Warhammer for 2 months. Yeah, I'm just trying not to go outside right now. There's no reason to be out. I need to give you guys a better screen region. Oh, I don't want the tutorial. No, I hit the wrong button. Single player. I always choose blue because blue is lucky. $40 dice. Okay, so re-rolling hits and wounds with the strat. And we're fishing for 6s, and there's really nothing we can do to improve that. Okay, and let's say we wound on 3s against... Well, more importantly, how many mortal wounds is it? 9 mortal wounds. I mean, that seems really fucking good, man. One more time, just to make sure I didn't fuck things up. Reroll in probably just the hits. You might throw an aspiring... Oh, you can't. And then reroll in everything to wound. Because we just want to fish for as many 6s as possible. 12 this time. 12 mortal wounds. I mean, it's... You have to get them all into combat. The Master of Possession doesn't seem necessary to make the, possessed pop off like that. Though the +1 to advance and charge is nice. And the 6-up feel no pain. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, possessed, good. I have 12 of them, so that's great. Chosen, there are a lot of guys that could be here. You can shoot or declare a charge in a turn that advance or fell back. That just gives you more movement options. I don't have any chosen, but I mean, you don't know any goddamn different when I show you a fucking regular Marine, so maybe I own quite a few. Otherwise, I think it's pretty much the same as the, yeah, this looks almost exactly the same as the space, just the regular Marine data sheet, right? Or Legionnaire. You can't take Power Fist on them? Wait. Wait. You can't take Power Fists? Heavy melee weapon. Okay. I think I like re-rolling my leadership things better, and they're probably cheaper. Noise Marine, they're still showing that one specialty model that you can't get really anymore. Riotous Cacophony in your shooting phase after this unit is shot. Select one enemy unit that was hit. Make a battle shock. Cute. Blastmaster. Still looks like a solid shooting unit. I don't own any, and I don't plan on kit bashing any. Venom Crawler. Spider Johnson, as my wife likes to call him. Excruciator Cannon. This all looks normal. More toughness, but it just puts it in line with other things. Dark Pax, Deadly Demise. The end of any phase, if one or more attacks made by this model, this phase destroyed one or more enemy units. Until the end of the battle, add 1 to the... What? Holy shit. Oh my god, he's great. I love him. So if he kills something, he gets more shots with his guns and his attacks. Wow, okay. All right, I see you. Okay, yeah. I'll put that with iffy. Chaos Bikers. Your opponent's turn, if this unit is wholly within 6 inches of any battlefield edge and not in engagement range, you can put it back into strategic reserves. Both Chaos kill teams are in. Gotcha. I saw the Balefire Tome. I hate the Chaos Biker models, but they're good enough. You could... I mean, nothing can ride along with, right? Noise Marines are amazing. They see play all of the goddamn time. Holy shit. The last 2 editions, it's just like, you better own some. They're just like so annoying to like actually get a hold of, because it's not a kit you buy. You buy regular Marines and then you get an old busted fucking kit to upgrade them. This model is like a 2019, 2018 collector's model or something. You can't just straight up buy this guy anymore. They're one of the best units in 9th edition. I don't know why you're saying they're not good. Chaos Bikers just don't really speak to me. The speed is nice, but am I missing something? Fearsome, -1 leadership. That's great, considering that we're going to battle shock them a lot. Terrifying assault at the start of the fight phase. You have to take a battle shock test. Can we get a definition of the battle shock? Because I just want to see that actually written out for me. Battle shock has no objective control, and it can't be affected by friendly stratagems. And you can pay Huron with them. What was all of Huron's shit again? I remember it being good. Sorry, we're kind of bouncing all over the place. Not Huron, Harkin. Okay, so you bring a bunch of them and they do mortal wounds on the charge, and then you have basically 2 attempts at battle shocking them. Once for Herald of no, 3. Oh my god, you're gonna battle shock the shit out of them with this. So yeah, Raptors seem like really solid ways of taking out backfield objectives, or like less contested objectives. Like, I'm down with it, man. I'm down with it. I do have to say, I absolutely hate the Raptor models. They are such a pain in the ass to paint. But that's about it. I'm working on them right now. They have that Helldrake thing where they've got the little tiny spindly ornate bits like on their legs and stuff. It just makes them very annoying. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what I expected them to be, which is good. So yeah, you probably, I mean, I'm probably just going to stick with the 6 and then Warp Talons. If that enemy unit is battle shocked until the end of the phase, each time a desperate escape is taken for that model and that unit, subtract 1 from the result. I think you take Warp Talons in every unit aside from the Harkin unit, because that just seems better. Yeah. Havoc's stabilizing talons. Each time this makes a move, you can ignore all modifiers to hit and any or all ballistic skill. Oh. Oh, do we have legitimate shooting again? I usually just play with my friends, not a loaf of bread, so I haven't played a TTRPG in a while, because I don't have those. I don't know how you get into groups nowadays. Warp Rift firepower once per battle. When this unit makes a Dark Pact, it can use this ability. If it does until the end of the phase, it's now equipped with indirect fire. What the shit? What? Okay. Two to four obliterators, because they know you only get two in a pack now, so they're not trying to do the thing where they're calling it three. And you can't just take one, so you gotta take a pack of two. I'm not super in love with it, but it's not bad. A 2-up save is solid in this edition. Because AP values do seem to have dropped like they said they would. It's just the same thing that I've always had an issue with this unit. Where's the damage coming from? Your shots? Because they're D6 plus 3, D6. Like, those are such inconsistent profiles. I don't know about that. Chaos Land Raider. 2-up save. Toughness 12. 16 wounds. D6 explosion. Assault ramp. They can get out and charge. Armored tracks seem okay. Going back to the stratagems, tank shock is strength 8. So if you ram a unit, Soul Shatter las cannon, less good than it was. It used to be D6 plus 2 damage. I'm kind of about the Land Raider. I think you could do a Land Raider rush, depending on how rhinos are. Predator Annihilator. Each time a range attack is made by this model is allocated into a monster or vehicle, reroll the damage roll of 1. So you're not going to give that annoying thing where you just cannot hurt things. Destructor, each time a ranged attack is made by this model against infantry, add 1 to the AP. So you probably want to just go with lots of shots, like a Predator autocannon. And it seems all right. I really don't know relative to what I'm trying to shoot, but that seems all right. I'm about the Land Raider. I think I'm going to put Land Raider in the list. I don't own any. That could change. Vindicator, I remember hearing that that's really good for regular Marines. Making an attack with the Demolisher Cannon, this model can target enemy units within engagement range of it, provided no friendly units are also in engagement range of that unit. In addition, when it makes a ranged attack, this model does not suffer the penalty to hit roll for being in engagement range. So you can shoot into combat? And not have to worry about it, assuming there's no one else in combat. And you get to dictate that to some degree. Just keep your other units a little bit away. 2-up save. Seems good. Defiler, please be good this edition. Scuttling Walker. Each time makes a normal move. Can be moved over friendly monsters and vehicles as if they're not there. Why not infantry? Can you just do that anyway? I think I heard something about that. You can just move over regular infantry and bikes and stuff with vehicles now, right? You can just run over your own units. As long as they're not vehicles or monsters. The Defiler just casually steps over an entire fucking knight. And you can move our terrain features that are 4 inches in height or less as if they're not there. The claws are fine. The Scourge is just extra attacks. Do you get either or? You probably choose the Scourge. Defiler Cannon is going to be a default weapon you're going to go with. AP is bad. Damage is good. Lots of shots. I'm saying that's good enough to run. Is it good enough to run competitively? I don't know yet, but it seems good enough. Forge Friend. Demonic Ordnance. Its ranged weapons have devastating wounds and hazardous. Okay, so you do have to have a way to reroll ones. But you get mortal wounds on 6s. There's not a consistent way of getting you to get the 6s going. What did the Warpsmith do again? There's some sort of buff to shooting, right? It was like reroll hits. Forge Fiend looks like a puppy. Well, I like to call them Forge Friends. It's a meme, and it's a good meme. Select one vehicle, regain 3, +1 to hit. Huh, okay. So +1 to hit. You can't really benefit the devastating wounds thing. I'm not seeing a way to really interact with that ability. And honestly, I'd rather buff something like a Venom Crawler, just because damage 2 is pretty all-purpose. At least it was in 9th edition. I heard that Hellbrutes are good now. Let's see what they do. While friendly Heretic Astartes unit is within 6, each time it makes a demonic pact, its weapons gain both abilities conferred by that pact instead of just one. And you get rerolling wounds as long as you have 2 Hellbrute Fists. Hellbrute Fist is 5 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 12, AP 2, damage 3. Seems solid. You probably want the punching ability or the shooting ability as well, though. Maybe go with like heavy flamers on the hands. Sounds fine. He actually seems pretty okay. The Hellbrute. Coroner Slanesh. Yeah, let me go look at is that what they mean? Each time a unit makes a dark pact until the end of the phase, its weapons gain both abilities conferred by that pact. Are obliterators any good? They have out of line of sight shooting once per game. Otherwise, they're basically the same, and they have to be taken in units of at least 2. They look fine. I don't think that they're going to be anyone's first pick, but they look okay. I'm going back up to those dark packs because, like, hazardous being treated as hits of 1 will be the rule that people get wrong the most. All right. I feel like I'm getting that wrong already. Hazardous is, it's like the... Sure, go fuck yourself, G-dubs. Why don't you have it in here? This is not really a quick start guide because it doesn't have all the things. I mean, I guess it's quick start, but I mean, like, that's a... Just pull up the core rules. I know, right? Thank you. Core rules. Okay. Hazardous. Weapons with hazardous in their profile. If 1 or more units... You take a hazardous test for each hazardous weapon that was just used. So that's one thing that's nice is you don't have to keep track of each individual guy with the plasma gun. selected by the controlling player. So, okay, so if you, it's not when you roll a 1, it's you make a separate roll afterwards to determine whether or not you were hit by the hazardous. And it's not per shot? So you're only going to roll 1 dice to see whether or not you got hurt by the hazardous. Yeah, multi-shot is not penalized. So you want as many shots with hazardous as you can. I mean, it increases the odds that you'll get it, but also, like, you'll probably do fine. Okay, yeah, that is an important distinction. So going back to, oh wait, no, I wanted to check out the I mean, it leads me to believe that you pick both Korn and Slanesh, for example. But then there's Undivided. I don't know about that, man. I don't know what the hell Bert does. Am I dumb? Like, does the Hellbrute give Psychers the ability to use the Korn ability? Because it marks them as Korn, if that's what... What the fuck is that? What is that? I'm gonna go get some more water while we wait for this load. All right. I mean, hopefully with the rules being digital right now, they can work out the kinks before they, like, release the books. And they can fix stuff like that. Because I don't think I'm being dumb. I just don't think that makes sense. Both abilities conferred by that pact. I just don't know what that means. Helldrake, right, so flyers now, they have to either start off the board or start in hover and stay in hover forever. I think that's how it works. Yeah, I don't think they're going to mess with the data sheets, just new detachment rules. That sounds right. Some models have hover. When instructed to declare battle formations before doing anything else, you may just declare if you're in hover mode. If you're in hover mode, until the end of the battle, the move characteristic is changed to 20. It loses the aircraft keyword, loses associated rules. Aircraft get what? Oh, and you pivot the end of your movement now rather than at the beginning. Okay. I mean, that'll help with people who are fucking around a bit. Yeah, I'm not sold on the Helldrake. Muller friend? Siege Crawler, you can advance and charge. You can reroll advance and charge rolls and ignore any modifiers. Neat. Okay, so you get 2 abilities from Dark Pact. The sustained hits or the lethal hits. The other is from your mark. Okay, so the Hellbrood is good then. Thank you for looking that up. Rhino. Auto heals 1 does not have the thingy-majiggy. Okay. Chaos Spawn. I have a few of them. Every unit has to have 2 because they come as 2 in a box. Okay. Does have Dark Packs, so you can Dark Packs it. It's D6 plus 2 attacks. I'll happily run one. I don't know if it's really the most best thing ever. It's objective control 1. You're going to have 2 of them. If they're priced appropriately, I think that you could see Chaos Spawn. Just stand around somewhere. Corn Lord of Skulls. In the fight phase, after it's done making its attacks, each... Okay. Noctilus Crown. Are you as good as you were in 9th edition, or did they make you not usable? Yeah, Chaos Spawn is the most kit bashable thing. I've got 4, I think. Because I bought some Crypt Fiends for my wings for my Demon Prince kit bash. And then I use, yeah, I mean, like, you glue some bits you had together and put them on a 40 mil base, and bam, you got a Chaos Spawn. Everyone within 9 inches of this fortification has a 4-up invuln. Each time a ranged attack is allocated to this model. If that model is not fully visible to Wait, what? Each time a ranged attack is allocated to a model, if that model is not fully visible to every model in the attacking unit because of this fortification. Oh, okay, it gets cover. Orcs are pretty kit bashable. You basically can just steal another, army's unit and stick some orc runes on it, and you probably have a good start to it being a kit bash. You just have to figure out what it's going to be by the end of it and make sure that they understand. I've converted some Vindicators into mega tanks. Not Grotma tanks, but what are they? Kill bursters and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very easy to do. Fortifications, yeah, the Noctilus Crown isn't good. Vastor. Not a leader. So he could be shot when he's just standing around. While a friendly daemon vehicle is within 6 inches of this, add 1 to string characteristic of weapons equipped. Okay. Joey, thank you for the raid, my dude. Okay, Vastor. Trader Guardsman. Twisted Defense Force. While this is in range from an objective marker, each time a ranged attack targets this unit, they're objective campers. Probably go with the cultists instead. Belgor Beast. What the fuck? What is this? Wait, what the fuck is this? This is new? I've never seen this. Scout 6 inches. The other Chaos Kill Team? I didn't know that these guys even existed. Each time this unit declares a charge, if 1 or more targets of that charge are within range of the objective markers, add to the... I mean... First turn charge threat, I guess. I have a great weapon, corrupted staff. Yeah. This seems... Notably, Trader Guardsmen are OC2 instead of 1. I see. I see. I don't know if OC value matters on cultists and guardsmen. they aren't going to live that long. Like, at all. Trader Enforcer, are you actually useful? Brutal example. When leading a unit that contains Trader Enforcer, it can be targeted for the insane bravery for 0, even if another unit has used it. That's pretty solid. Character models in this unit have a 4-up feel no pain. Whoa. What can you be attached to? Just guardsman squads. Well, so the only other thing that would be in that unit would be... Okay. Huh. Yeah, it's usable if you're going to use the guardsmen, which seem fine for the reason you were talking about. A non-winged demon prince, I think, gives them rerolls. So you could go with a shit ton of you can have 3 sniper rifles. What do they hit on? 4s? Okay. Same with the Melta gun. The Melta is only 12-inch range. You go with plasma guns, which are always solid. I'm like not coming from this. Like, that's fine. We're not gonna do the same thing with the demons, but Strike Force, I believe, is a 2,000 points thing. I've got some Zinch units. I just want to see what they do. If every army in your army has the Chaos keyword, includes these guys, even if they do not have a faction keyword you selected in the selected step. Okay, so they won't get this, so we don't need to read this. From Joey? No, I caught it. I think Joey when they sent it. Okay, cool. So I've got Zinch stuff, so I'm just gonna like read Zinch stuff, and that's about it. You're good, man. You're good. 1 Legion's Demonica unit from your army that's in range from an objective marker you control. That objective marker is corrupted and remains in your control even if you have no models in range of it until your opponent controls at the start of your each turns. In addition, when an objective marker is corrupted under your control, the area of the battlefields within 6 has the Shadow of Chaos, which is something that I don't actually get access to. There are no mono god benefits. I just only own like Zinch stuff, and I've got like a Skull Taker, I think. 1 Demonica unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight. Improve the AP by 1. And each time a weapon targets a unit that is battle shocked, you can reroll the wounds. Cool. We can't use that one. We could use that. You can set this up anywhere on the battlefield more than 3 inches horizontally away. You cannot charge the same turn. Okay. None of these are locked to a specific legion or god. I see what you're saying now. End your opponent's turn, select 2 Demonica units that are in... Nope. Shooting phase just after it's selected targets. Each time an invulnerable saving throw is made for unit, reroll 1. Okay? If you're using the Demonic Incursions detachment rule, then you can use these. No. Is that the same with the stratagems? It is. Okay, so the stratagems actually don't matter. Just raw... Maybe it's a Bloodmaster. That's cool. Holy shit, damage 3. That's cool. Yeah, he's actually pretty baller. Only can be allowed to lead Bloodletters, though, and I don't own any. That's the only thing of this. What do Bloodletters do? Just to see if I want to get them. Blood begets blood. Each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. The attack is... you're not allowed to use strats. It says the same thing. You select one army rule for you, right? So either Shadows of Chaos or the Chaos Space Marine one or whatever. And then then you get this. If your army faction is Legionis Demonica, I think you still get to use that. Wait. I think you only get to choose one army rule. You don't get the detachment rule or the army rule. Okay, cool. So then if you're using the demonic incursion detachment rule, you can use these incursion stratagems. So you won't get to use the stratagems unless if you are being demon time. No strats. Unfortunate, but kind of used to it at this point. I don't care about a lot of this shit, I'll be real. I would like to see the demon princes and stuff. Fate Skimmer. I have one of these. Melee gets lethal hits. Once per battle at the end of your opponent's turn, if that model of the unit does not engage for range, is placed in strategic reserves. Okay. It can lead Screamers. I have Screamers. Are they good? Fluxmaster. Subtract 1 to hit. Cool. Good. Already a great start. Is that the one I have? No, I have a Changecaster, not a Fluxmaster. Okay, so what does a Fluxmaster do? Sustained hits, 1. In your shooting phase, if after this model is shot, select one enemy unit that, okay, and you force them to make Battle Shock. I mean, there's definitely a Battle Shock meme in here. You can hook them up to pink or blues. Blues. Infiltrate. Each time a blue horror in this unit is destroyed, on a 4-up, you get a brim. As long as the unit's not destroyed. Cackling horrors. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches, subtract 1 from their leadership. Exploding horrors. Each time you're selected to fight, select 1 or more brimstone. So you can just make brimstones explode. Very funny. Okay. I think that you could get some serious Battle Shock synergy with Chaos Knights. Can Chaos Knights still party with CSM? Pinks. Each time a pink or blue horror in this unit is destroyed, you can, right? I hope that I don't have to pay for the icon and the instrument, because I already glued those on. I'd prefer the -1 to hit for these guys, but I think this is fine. You can have a Dreadblade with CSM, which suffers from no rules. Okay. I don't know about that then. But at any point that contains no pink horrors, use the blue horrors data sheet for this unit. It doesn't say whether or not they cost points when they're summoned in. Flamers. It's eligible to shoot in a turn that it fell back. It can deep strike. It has torrent. It is psychic. It ignores cover. D6. Strength 4, AP 1 damage. I feel like we're being punished for the sins of our past. Psychic does nothing inherently, right? It's just like a flavor word that affects other things. They can only be used by Psychers. Such weapons are tagged with Psychic. A Psychic weapon can affect... Okay, yeah, so it's just like... Yeah, I feel like this is punishment for the 9th edition Flamers. Movement 9 instead of 12, was it? Or were they movement 6? I forget. They seem kind of fine. They could be very annoying to charge still. But I mean, AP 1, Strength 4, Damage 1. I'm still going to run them because I don't know if I have enough dudes in CSM to run. Oh, 4-up against melee too instead of a 6-up. Yeah. And then you fall back and shoot again, and then they try and charge you, shoot them again. I think for like something that's going to take like a midfield objective, they're okay. But I'm going with okay. Exalted Flamer. I have one of these. What do they do? Blazing Warpfire. When it's leading a unit, ranged weapons equipped by models. Are there 2 different types of flamers? They didn't do that anymore, thank God. It's a skirmisher unit, yeah. They have the assault ability. And they can only lead flamers, so it gives them assault. Okay. Flames of change after your shooting phase. After this model is shot, select 1 or more enemy units that was hit by this attack and a 4-up. You're on fire. When you're on fire, subtract 2 to move and 2 to advance and charge. Oh. That's neat. Oh, that's very neat. Okay, hold up. So you could back up 12 inches, shoot them, give a -2 to advance and charge, or move and charge. He doesn't get that ability though, right? Yeah, so he doesn't get bounding leap, so he won't be able to do that. Okay. Screamers. Slashing dive in your movement phase after it makes a normal move. You can select 1 enemy unit moved over on a 4-up. You can have up to 6 of them, so you could do up to 3 mortal wounds. Their melee is actually somewhat threatening. No, it's not. I'm lying to myself to make them seem good because I love these models. Burning Chariot? I could have one of those, sure. In your shooting phase, after your opponent has shot, select 1 enemy unit that was hit by one of those, and it can't have the benefits of fire cover. And cannot be attached to any units, so it's just a big dude that gets shot and killed. With toughness 8, which is just not good enough anymore. Is that all the Zinch stuff? Alright, let me look at the Demon Prince. You could use them for objective play and Demon... Yeah. They don't have their own natural, like, minus leadership thing, but, like, you could fly over units, cause some damage, and cause them to battle shock out of being able to do shit. Bellicor... Demon Prince of Chaos. Let me pull up the Demon Prince of Chaos for CSM as well. I don't know why this is so laggy. Like, I have to reload everything every time I scroll. It's PDF? It's PDF, that's why. I'm way more enthused than I was when I originally read the Demonic Pact ability. It looks a lot better. Now that I see it in context. Because I was having a really hard time trying to make heads or tails of why the fuck I would ever do that. Alright, so Heretic Astartes Demon. This is the one on foot. So he can only hook up with Demonica guys, okay. But he gets a 3-up invuln. It looks like the rest of this is the same, is that right? Yeah. It gives them stealth. But it only gives demon stealth. You could load up Trader Goddard cultists into rhinos, sure. I think fucking around with Battle Shock is something that really, really needs to be experimented with. And I'm gonna probably look through what I've got that gets fuck around with Battle Shock or leadership. I'm gonna play with leadership this edition. Like, that seems like a legitimate strat because it'll take them off objectives. I don't even have to be over there. I can just shoot them with the Lord Discordant or something. All right, so flying one. I believe it gets the exact same things. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this model can use this ability. It gets 3 extra attacks. It's considerably better for the strike than the sweep. Harbinger of Death. Each time it's selected to fight, you pick one of these abilities. Lethal hits, precision, or sustained hits. I honestly think I might go with the Daemon Prince of Chaos over this one, because what do you get? You get the thing where you can fly over guys and make them take Battle Shock tests. How often are you doing that? I mean, the other one gets more wounds on the charge and synergizes with abilities better. I don't know. Definitely more happy about the CSM stuff now that I've read through this than I was. But yeah, why don't I go to the bathroom? I'll be right back, and then we'll do some art. How does that sound? 1 minute. BRB. Or, yeah. Yeah, 1 minute. BRB. Let me know what you guys think, obviously. But I think we're good. CSM. All right, I am back. We're gonna do some art stream, I think, now. Give me a minute to get all set up with that. Might be worth cutting this VOD, because then I can start it uploading. Let me know when you hear this, and I'm gonna restart stream. Sound good? All right, I'll be right back.